Welcome back, everyone. This is the video for Chapter 10, where we are doing animation. There are two types of animation we're going to be doing in Android Studio. The first one is called frame animation, where you have a series of images and you just display them frame by frame. So you keep repeating, displaying the images over and over again to simulate animation. The other type of animation is called tween animation. This is where you take a single image and do different things on it, such as make it fade out, or make it rotate, or move it in the X or Y direction, or do other things to it. We'll look at both. For starters, let's look at tween animation. So in this particular project, what I've done is I've set up my main activity and I converted it to a relative layout. And as you can see, I have three widgets, an image view and two buttons. However, for all three of these, I created them strictly in the XML file. I did not drag and drop. Now, in the strings XML file, you will need three things done. And here they are. Those three things. Now, whatever details I leave out of any part of the code, you must consult the PowerPoint slides for Chapter 10. That will have all the details for things you need to create in code. Now then, going back to the main activity. Okay, let's go to the XML code. And here, as you can see, it's a relative layout. And the code you will need to create in XML is all right here. Here is the image view with its text. Here is the first button, and there is the second button. That is all the XML code you'll need for the main activity. You will also need to put these four, for this project I'm demonstrating, these four graphics into the drawable folder. You will also need to create a new Android resource file called animation.xml. Let me show you what that looks like. So the animation XML file consists of you creating an animation list. It's going to display each of these four images one at a time. Each image will be displayed for 100 milliseconds, and it'll be a constant loop. It'll constantly repeat. It looks like this. That's the four images being displayed over and over again. Finally, in the Java code for the main activity in this particular project, you need to create an animation drawable object. Then within the onCreate method, you further define that animation object in this way. After you create an image view object. And for that image view object, you're going to set a background resource, which is your animation list. Then you redefine your animation drawable object to access this background resource. Then you create both of your buttons, which is all of this code right here. There's button 1, button 2. For button 1, you just start the animation. Button 2 stops the animation and then starts the second activity, which is tween. So you will have to create a second activity whose name is tween to show the tween animation. All right. Now about that tween animation activity, let's take a look at what that entails. I will go to the design view. And here I made the second one a linear layout with horizontal orientation. And the only widget on this second activity is an image view. Now let's look at the XML code. In order to avoid a fatal error, you might need to type this horizontal orientation in the layout tag, the linear layout tag. And then the only widget you create is this image view widget right here. That's the only widget in this second activity. Now, you'll also need to create another Android resource file, and it needs to have its own directory. Here's this directory, and the name of this particular one is rotation. In this project, we're only going to rotate the image. And the way that looks in XML code, this rotation.xml file, looks like this. You have a rotate tag. Now, the thing is, if you're only going to do one activity in tween animation, you do just the one tag, and you put all the attributes within the opening tag. See how all of these are within this rotate tag, and down here is a closing rotate tag? That's if you're doing just one. If you're going to do more than one type of tween animation at a time, all of those need to be within a set tag, which I will show you in just a moment. Finally, for this tween activity, the Java code is actually very short. All you do for rotating are these two lines right here. Here's your image view object, and then you just start the animation by using your animation utilities object. And here is what you're going to be doing. There that is. Okay. I'm now going to run this program, and I'll bring you back when it's ready to go. And the app is up and running, and as you can see, I've got one of my Northern Lights images displayed, and here are my two buttons. So to start the frame animation, let's click this. And as you can see, there's my frame animation. It's displaying each of the 4 images for 100 milliseconds each, over and over and over again. Now, if I want to go to the tween animation, which as you recall is just rotating the one of the images, I'll click the second button, and here's what happens. See, it's rotating 360 degrees, and I believe it was set to rotate 5 times. There, I did it. I'll go to the back button. So again, here's your example of frame animation, and there's your example of tween animation. Now, there are 4 types of tween animation that the author talked about but didn't really go into in depth in the book. I was able to go to Android Studio's website, and as you can see, there's a link down here in this Word document that takes you to what explains the different tween animations. This document, this Word document, will be in the Chapter 10 Images folder in the Files area of Canvas. So the 4 types of tween animation, you have alpha, which is a way to have the image fade out. It doesn't change the size, but the image will go from fully displayed to it'll just sort of fade out gradually. The second one is scale. That will either shrink or expand the image. The third one is translate. That will move the image in either horizontally, the X direction, or vertically in the Y direction. It'll move the image around. And finally, there is rotate, the one we have already done. Now, once again, this Word document I'm showing you is in the Chapter 10 Images folder in the Files area of Canvas. If you're going to do more than one type of tween animation, here I've got all 4, but if you're doing more than one, you need to put all of your tween animation tags within this set tag. The set tag here is a 2-sided tag. And if you use a set tag, each one of your tween animations needs to be a 1-sided tag. Your homework this week will consist of you doing different animations, but you may use this Word document. You can copy and paste from it, and use it any way you see fit to accomplish what the case projects for homework want you to do. If you have any questions, please send me an email at kmuldrow@lbcc.edu.